Welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this miniature rounded rosebush using a Cricut machine. Starting in Cricut Design Space, we're going to head over to the left-hand side and click Images. In the search bar, type Rose, and the first option that comes up, which looks like a spiral, is the one we're going to use for this project. So click on that and insert it onto your canvas. Next, we're going to delete the little leaf, so click on the object and go over to the right hand side and click Ungroup, and then remove that leaf there. So we're going to make two different spirals, one for our leaves here and then a smaller one for our roses. Click on our spiral, go over to the right hand side and click Duplicate, which will create a second spiral. Then click on the first spiral and we're going to change the colour to green at the top here. Then the second one and change that one to red. Your Cricut will place these items on two separate mats. Now let's miniaturize these roses. So up the top here we're going to change the width to 3 centimeters for our leaf. And then for the rose part we're going to change the width to 1.7 centimeters. So now we need to duplicate our spiral. And we need quite a few spirals to cover the entire styrofoam ball. So to duplicate, we click on the object, go to the top right hand corner, click Duplicate, and I've made 10 copies of each spiral. Once you have 10, you can then highlight all of those 10 shapes and duplicate those, and it will create 10 more. So the quantity of your spirals will really depend on the size of your styrofoam ball. I've used 40 roses for this project, and then for the leaf part I've used 100. For the roses I've used red A5 coloured paper, and for the material setting in Cricut Design Space I've selected copy paper. We're going to need the fine point blade for this particular cut. Place your coloured paper onto the blue light grip mat. And the Cricut will cut out those spirals. Remove the paper from your light grip mat and you might find some of the spirals stay on the paper and you can easily pull them off. And there is our mini rose spiral. For our leaves I've used this green crepe paper, and there is a setting in Design Space. If you type in crepe paper will come up. And when you select that setting, it needs the rotary blade to be inserted. I'm using the standard grip mat for sticking down the crepe paper. I really loved the texture of the crepe paper. It's going to be perfect for our leaves. And here are the completed spirals. To hold our rose bush up, I have used these brown florist wires and a 4 centimeter styrofoam ball. You could definitely go smaller for 1/12 scale. Pierce your styrofoam ball with the wire and make sure it's sticking in the middle. And then we're going to cut off the right length that we want to use with some wire cutters. You'll also need to place it in a pot. I've used this concrete bead. We then need to paint our styrofoam ball so that when we place our leaves and our roses on, you can't see any white underneath. Now let's assemble the leaves. So we've got our crepe paper here, and I've stretched it out a little bit on some of the edges to give it an irregular shape. You don't want it to look too perfect. Starting on the outside edge, roll the paper between your fingers. Keep rolling until you've rolled all the way to the middle of the spiral. When you've got this little end piece hanging off, you're going to place some glue on the inside edge. Then using your fingers, glue that edge to the side and then place the circle at the bottom. And that's done. Repeat that process for the rest of your leaves. And do the same for your red roses. Glue the leaves to your styrofoam ball. And then glue your roses in between some of the gaps. You want to be quite random with the placement of your roses so that it looks like a real rose bush. You can either leave it like this, or you can use some of these scrap pieces to imitate leaves poking out of your rose bush. Simply place some glue in between some of the gaps and then poke those scraps in between. And here's the final product. This would be perfect for a mini garden scene or outside your dollhouse. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.